Good evening, everyone. We are now live in Adobe Community Philippines YouTube channel for getting started with Adobe XD. Inviting you to please do check the event details where you can see the registration form and please do register now. Inviting you to join our groups, Adobe XD user group in Facebook and in LinkedIn. To all educators out there, we have Adobe Educators Philippines. And to all creatives, inviting you to join Digital Creatives Philippines. Okay, I'll be giving you a few minutes to register. Okay, and we'll see you after 5 minutes. Okay, we are now back. Yeah, hello to all our LinkedIn friends who are watching right now. Yan, hello to Voltaire, Kier, Carl, Kim, and Kimberly. Hello to you. Okay, so I'd like to know, or can you please post in the comment section if you knew Adobe XD or any idea about it. So you can just post it in our comment section. Okay, and I'd like to introduce our speaker this evening. Oops, let me share my screen. Mhm. Okay, share screen. Okay, our speaker this evening is Miss Patricia Ann Lazaro. She is a user experience designer at Samsung Electronics. Good evening, Miss Pat.
Hello, good evening. Hello, everyone. Thank you for
Okay, so
coming.
may we know where are you right now?
I'm currently here in Laguna, Philippines.
Oh, Laguna. Okay, so yeah, as you can see in our comment section from Voltaire, have not worked with it yet. With Kimberly, yes. Yeah, I am more of an NLE using Premiere Pro a lot. Yeah. Of course, we have beginners. Okay, so this course is absolutely for beginners, right, Miss Patricia?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Miss, go ahead.
Okay, I will share my screen so we can start. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Shared.
Okay, so thank you guys for coming. So for today's session, I'm going to talk about Adobe XD and how to get started with Adobe XD. So, hello, I'm Patricia. This is me. Uh, I studied Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Arts at the LaSalle College of St. Benilde. I have 6 years of experience in UI UX design. I'm currently a UX designer at Samsung Research and Development here in the Philippines. And here are my social media sites that you can check on. I also upload videos on YouTube regarding UX and some of my hobbies. So here's our agenda for today. I'm going to be talking about the evolution of UI UX tools. So I will take you down the memory lane. So let us take a look back from Photoshop to XD. And then features that can help you get started with XD. And lastly is I will answer some of your questions. So the evolution of UI UX tools. In the 1990s, Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator was born. So Adobe Illustrator is a software that is used for graphic design, font, logo development, application, and Adobe Photoshop is an image editing software. But from these two softwares, Adobe Photoshop became hugely popular. So it became this all-in-one design tools for all. And as you can see from uh, the time, Adobe Photoshop evolved so much. So it's not just an image editing software anymore. It can be used by a lot of creatives like designers, illustrator, interface designers, photographers, and uh, other aspiring designers. So I will take you back when I first saw Photoshop. It was here. This is a computer rental place here in the Philippines, and we call it computer shop. So this is where you can rent a computer for 20 pesos per hour. And they also offer other services like printing documents, or just printing your stuff. And then um, remember when CD burning was a thing? So burning CDs, that's our Spotify playlist of the 2000. So it was like this. You will burn songs on on a CD using Narrow Express CD burning. So I was there in the computer shop, and then I asked the computer guy if I could uh get some of my favorite songs at that time burned in a CD so that I can listen it at home. So I wrote the songs that I like on paper, and then I gave it to the computer guy. And then while the computer guy was burning the songs on the CD, he was using this software to create designs for the sleeves. So they create designs like this to be on a sticker paper, and then they will place it on top of the CD. So I asked what software was that, because I got really curious, because it was like MS Paint, but it's more than MS Paint. So the computer guy said that it was Adobe Photoshop. So at the time I didn't know what was that. So I asked if I could have one installer, and then I will install it at home. So that guy gave me a CD containing Adobe Photoshop. It was this one very first experience with Adobe Photoshop was Adobe CS. So this is what the loading screen looks like, and this is what the interface looks like. So it's very uh 2000, very old already. This is the software where I got really interested into computer graphics. So Adobe Photoshop became part of my life and into my career as well as a UI UX designer. But then way back in 2015, creating interfaces in Adobe Photoshop became tedious, so that it looks like this. So you will create a lot of groups, a lot of artboard, a lot of Photoshop files, and exporting images on Photoshop takes so long to do, and much effort. Um, and then there was a rapid growth in the IT industry and an increased demand to produce more efficient and web and mobile interfaces. That's why a new design process was born. You know, we cannot go back to that inefficiency that Adobe Photoshop has offered. That's why uh, this new design was being implemented because of the demand. So it's the design, prototype, and handoff. So you have to design your ideas, you have to create your ideas into design, and then prototype. This is the process where you can test your design right away. So this prototype process eliminates all the errors on the production. It lessens down. And then handoff is where you will hand off your designs to developers for uh to programmer for development. That's why Adobe XD was born. So Adobe XD eliminate all that inefficiency that we encounter with Photoshop. So this software was created with that new design process and became the key feature of Adobe XD. So design, prototype, and collaborate. So yeah. So right now, I'm going to show you features that can help you get started with Adobe XD. So I can see that some people commented earlier that they are very new with Adobe XD. So this is what it looks like. So this is the workspace of Adobe XD. So as you can see, if you already know Premiere Pro or Photoshop, if you've been using that and some of the Adobe products, they're very very similar. But if you could see the interface of um, Adobe XD, it's very simple. So if you've been using Photoshop, you can really adjust very well. So here on top is our tab. So we have three tabs. This is the new design process: design, prototype, and then share. And here are our toolbars, and then our property inspector, and our artboards, and our layers are also in here. So the next feature I want to share is artboards. So what is an artboard? An artboard represents the screen in your application or pages in your website. It streamlines the design process and creates interactive designs for multiple screen sizes in a single document. So you can use artboard to create your XD project. In Adobe XD, it will provide you popular screen sizes for your projects, like from iPhone to iPad or for Android, then for web. And then you can also create your uh, a custom size if it doesn't fit the requirements of your project. And then within your project, you can also use the artboard tool. And then when you use the artboard tool, they have presets over the side that you can use. Next one is the tabs. The three tabs that we have in Adobe XD is the design, prototype, and share. So it is located on the top portion of Adobe XD. So design mode is where you can create your design in artboards, and you can also import assets from other Adobe softwares like Illustrator, Photoshop, or from the web. Then next is prototype. So this is where you can link your artboards together and animate the components without coding, so that you can view on a browser or on a device. So share is where you can share links for your designs for design review, developments, presentation, and user testing. So here is the toolbar of Adobe XD. So we have here is the select tool. So you will use this to select elements on your project. Then our shapes. We have rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line. So you can use this to create symbols. And then the pen tool. So this is very handy in creating your uh, designs. Text tool, Artboard, and Zoom. So below those toolbar, we have these three other tools that you could use. So one is libraries. So on the libraries, you can add assets and you can reuse them and share them within your teams. So you can add them when you press the assets tool. You can add colors, text. uh, So it will create a library for your project. Next is the layers panel. So on the layers, this is where you can arrange your artboards and the objects on your artboard. You can move them forward like here in on the video. You can move an element forward, then you can group them as well. Next is plugins. So when you press on the plugin panel, you can add plugins that can help you with your design. So Adobe XD has a lot of plugins that will help you create your design faster, like uh, content generator, image generator, or icon generator. They have that. And the next is properties panel. So I will show you what it looks like on XD. So here I have a project on XD. So this is the properties panel. It differs depending on the element that you're selecting. For example, I'm selecting a shape. So as you can see, we have here our transform property. So you can change the size of the shape that you want here. And then next is appearance. This is where you can change the color of your object. And then we have here the radius. You can add radius to your element. And then we also have the um, appearance effects. So this is already existing on Photoshop. So if you've been using this, it offers the same effects. So with the opacity, borders, you can add borders. You can add, you can increase the size and also the dash and the gap. And then you can make them rounded or square. You can make it uh, on outers too or middle. Then you can also add inner shadows and drop shadow. You can add background blur if you have background at the back. For example, like this, like that. It will blur what's on the background. And then when you press on the text, let me zoom you in so that you can see. It offers different properties as well. So here you can change the fonts like that. And then you can also change the properties, the text style, the spacing, the line height, the arrangement, if you want it on the center or left align. And then we also have uppercase, lowercase, then underline and stroke. You can also add borders to your text and inner and drop shadow as well. So that's the properties panel. Next feature that we have on Adobe XD, this is a very new feature, is the 3D transform. Oops, sorry. 3D transform is used to produce a stunning layering of objects in the 3D space. So you can move your flat screen into three-dimensional. And then this is very useful for AR and VR experiences. So here, I will show you how it works. So you will have to select a component and then enable 3D transform and just rotate and move the can canvas control. So on Adobe XD, we have here, and then I will just, here on the transform, this is the symbol for 3D transform. So I will just select it, and this is the control. So again, 3D. It's like that. So, and then next picture is the component end states. So component end state is very useful. I've used this a lot on all of my projects. So it when you create it, it will push all the changes across. For example, if you're uh, changing the color of a button, for example, there's a design change that you will change all the colors of the buttons on your screen. So components is very useful. Then you can also share it across the libraries, and you can also create multiple component states like hover or toggles for switches. So here how it works. You will have to select an element, for example, a button, and then you will make it into a component, and then you can add a state. So I'll show you. Here we have a floating button here. Um, for you to create it into a component, you will just have to right click and then make a component. So here I can add a hover state. So it already has an existing animation. That's why it has this lightning symbol. So hover. And I will just change the color of the hover state there. So I've created two states of this button. And then in here, that is already reflected. And then when I press on the preview button here, you will see that effectively. So when I hover, it shows. Next is the repeat grid. I think this is the most very useful feature that Adobe XD had. I really like this feature a lot, and this make the process faster. So um, repeat grid is it makes it can be used for like tables or listing, and then you will, and it places everything in the right place, so you don't have to do it again and again, and then you will just have to adjust it once, and it will adjust everything on the list. So to So how it works is that you will have to first select your design element, and then you will click the repeat grid on the property inspector, and then you will drag it on any direction that you want, like horizontally or vertically. So you can also change content of each element. So I'll show you. For example, here we have here this um element. I want it to be scrolled horizontally, so I will use repeat grid here. Then I will just drag it out like that, and this one as well. Repeat grid. So you can see it's repeating. And then here in the screen, I want to create multiple of this um, component. So you'll use repeat grid. Then I will drag it out vertically. So there. Next, we have is AutoAnimate. So AutoAnimate is like creating an automatic animation on your prototype. So uh, it it's creating engaging animation on your screen. So like scroll or swipe or pull to refresh like that. Or if you're want to have a transition between shapes. So here how it works for just connect to artboards, and then on the action uh, use auto animate on the type, and then you can preview it on your prototype. So here I have uh, two artboards. So one is that it has this um, line, and then here it moves to another direction. So on prototype, I will just connect these two artboard, connect it to the next artboard, and then I will change the type to auto animate. And then when you preview it, so it automatically adjusts and creates the animation for you. So you can look through YouTube. A lot of uh, YouTuber create a lot of tutorials regarding auto animate, how you can um, use this for your prototyping and for your project. Next we have is scroll group. So before, scrolling in Adobe XD is limited, very limited. You can only scroll vertically and not horizontally. So that's very hard if you're creating like sliders for your website design or your for mobile design. So they have now a new feature which is scroll group. It enables a level of your interaction in design. So it allows a user to scroll up, down, and side to side and pan around your design. So how it works is you select scroll groups on the properties panel. So I'll show you. Let's go back to the one that we created earlier. This one. Remember that I used repeat grid to have repeating elements. And then when I press the preview button, I cannot scroll it horizontally. So we need to use scroll group. So I will select this group, and then here, this is the scroll group icon. So I will use the uh, horizontal scroll group. So it automatically adjusts. So in here as well. When I press play, so you can now scroll it horizontally. Can also do that for vertical. So I will select this and then press on the scroll group, vertical scroll. So when I press the preview, you can scroll it vertically. So next we're now going to the share and collaboration feature of Adobe XD. The first one is co-editing. Oops. So, so co-editing makes the collaboration faster in your work efficiency and efficiently. So you can add your developers, copywriters, and other designer to the document so they can see it uh, in real time. So they never lose track of what's the latest version of your document. So here how it works. First, you have to save your file as a cloud document so that you can use the collaboration tool. So then the second one is you have to invite them just by entering their email address, and then they can already collaborate in real time. So you will see your colleagues have this colored boxes and then have their avatars on it, and then you can see them editing. You can enable it here. So as you can see, it says that you have to save this file to a cloud document so that you can invite other people. So when you save it as a cloud document, let's wait for it there. So it says invite to document, and then you will just add people to the file. Then next is share links. So with share links, you can share a shareable link with a password or with invited people only, and then you can get the feedback that you want because they can uh, drop a pin to your work and where they can comment so that you will know the feedback right away, and then you can just update that link as much as you like. So here how it works is you will navigate first to the share tab and then just make a link and then you can send it right away by email, or you could use integrations like Jira and Slack. You can add them to the plugin so that it's integrated. So here is the share panel. So I will share all of these screens. So use you can select here on the view setting if it's for a design review or for development, presentation, user testing, or customized for your viewing experience. So example, I want to get a feedback, so design review, and then link access. You can add anyone with the link or only invited people or anyone with password. So use anyone with the link and I will just create a link. So we created this link. So it will open like this. And then let us wait for the comments. Then a comment will show. Then you can use this, place a pin where you want to add your comments. Example here, and you can just make your comment. Change. For example. There. And then last feature that we have is design specs. So this is very useful for developers. So for in a design spec is you will create a link and then you will share it with the developers, and then you can discuss, and developers can bring your designs to life because the specification is already there, pre-made for you by Adobe XD. So here is how it works. So here on the share tab again, as you can see, we have here links. So you can create a new link or you can just replace the existing link and then just change it to development. And then you will choose which type you want. So for web, iOS, and Android. So for the development share, only the web includes a CSS code. So for iOS and Android, they don't include code. So I will use web so that you can see the uh, code. Then I will just update link. So the difference now is that it has this inspect symbol, says view specs. So when you click on it, it will show all the specification of the screens like colors. It will highlight on which part that color was used, and then the fonts are here, and also the interactions are shown like that. And then when you select an element, so it will show the size and then the radius as well as the CSS properties on this side. And then it can also show the design states that we created earlier here. You can see hover, hover state, and then the default state. Yeah, so I think that's the end of my presentation. I'll go now to answer some of your questions.
Okay, guys, if you have questions, feel free to post it in our comment section, okay? And I'll be playing a short video lang para makapag-water break lang si Miss Patricia. Okay?
At LinkedIn, we know what it takes to create high-quality learning content. Our team of industry experts is focused on creating engaging content that's relevant to your employees, impactful to your business, and produced in a way that keeps learners coming back for more. That's why L&D pros at 78 of the Fortune 100 companies choose LinkedIn Learning. Everything we do starts with the learner. We take the time to dive deep into data from the world's largest professional network to understand the skills people and businesses need, exploring LinkedIn-specific insights that no one else has, like what jobs are currently trending and the skills that are most in demand. Our course library is powered by the LinkedIn network, allowing us to keep up with the rapid, ever-changing demand for hard and soft skills, and empowering us to create an incredibly deep course library that's always fresh and up to date. Once we know the courses your learners and your business need, we find passionate industry experts to teach them. Every instructor has credible, real-world experience, so the content is not only relevant, but also immediately applicable. Each instructor is paired with a content producer who has experience in both instructional design and film production. Producers support the instructors, helping them build engaging courses and coaching them to bring out their best performance. All the way from recording to delivery, our creative teams work together to craft studio-caliber visuals and sound that deliver the most impactful learning experience. Every step of the process is designed to deliver skill-based content in a clear and compelling manner. Because we know that relevant, expertly produced content is a crucial part of every truly engaging learning experience. And it's those experiences that create lifelong learners.
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry the video is not showing up. Yeah, you may also check our YouTube link, Adobe Community Philippines. We are also live there. Maybe in LinkedIn, it's a medyo blurry siya, no? You may want to check youtube.com. Okay? Okay, Miss Patricia, my question for you.
Mhm.
Ayan. My first question, ayan, what advice would you have for others who want to set off in a similar direction, who wants to learn and to pursue the same path?
Mm, yeah, you can uh, try it out. So there's a lot of tools that you can use on the internet, and plus Adobe XD is also free, so you can download it right away and start creating interface design. And then there's a lot in LinkedIn Learning as well as in YouTube that can help you get started with designing interfaces. Mm.
Okay, so yeah. No questions from audience. Na-overwhelm ata sila. Okay, so yeah, I think that wraps up our training this evening. Once more, thank you. Eto, yeah, we
I
have
think
a question.
does it matter what framework are we going to use? I'm kind of confused whether I'll use. Uh no, I think any framework you can use it. It doesn't really matter when you're learning UX. So uh it's up to you whatever framework that you would like to use, like WordPress, Wix, or Squarespace. So that doesn't matter in learning UX. So UX uh only focuses on user experience. So as long as the your website is easy to use, so I think you're good already.
Okay, and thanks Miss Kimberly for asking question. Okay, any more question, guys, before we leave? Yeah, if you have a question. And also, feel free to connect with Miss Patricia in LinkedIn. So that's Patricia Ann Lazaro in LinkedIn. Okay, so
May
I
I think
posted
there's
that
a
link.
last question. Last question is it a need to learn? Um, No, I don't think you need to learn programming. I don't know that much programming. So I don't know how coding works, like those React JS or CSS, HTML. I don't know any of those things. So I only focus on the design and the flow. So I think that's really matter in UX. Next question. I hope I answered that, Kim. So yeah. So next question is from Asma. When learning UX, should I know all the basics first, or I can learn it just by practice? Uh well, you can learn all the basics, all the basics first. So it can help you. Of course, it can help you create interfaces very fast, and you can also learn by practice. I only learn by practice because before uh UX is not that prominent. So I only learn by practice. What I do is that I look up to brands like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and then I download their app on phone, and then I screenshot it every time I see something new on the screen. Like if they change the interface, I screenshot those things, or on the web, I screenshot the website, and then I will just keep it on a folder, and then when I have time, I practice. I paste them on Adobe XD, and then I traced all the elements on that screen. So that's where I got my that's how I practice, and as well as recording the flow. For example, there's a new flow on Instagram by uploading a photo, so can record it and then learn it. I hope I answered that. And then
Okay,
next
so from Care.
is give some professional tips which show my work more professional. Um, uh, more professional. For me, I think as long as you have those universal UX pattern on your portfolio, on your designs in creating uh interfaces. So I think that's already professional because it's shown very basic uh patterns. So as long as you do not overdo it, and it's not hard to use. Next, I hope I answered that correctly. Next is, could you give an example of what good design looks like for CE? What good design for CEO? SEO looks like. SEO. Um, what is that? Is it for a website?
Yeah, I think search engine
Yeah,
optimization.
optimization. Yeah, search engine optimization. SEO looks like. I'm not sure. It depends on where you want to uh place it, like on a web or on a mobile phone. So I think for SEO, since what I'm imagining is that it has a lot of for both. Okay, so I think it's best to use web for SEO because I think it has a lot of data. So it's very hard to to create a design that has a lot of data on a mobile phone, and I think that's um, inefficient when you're presenting a lot of uh, sorts of data on a mobile phone. So I think web is the best and a good design for SEO. So like the usual dashboard with a lot of data visualization. So yeah.
Can I
Next,
import vectors or
vectors.
icons
Yes,
from
yes, you can
Illustrator?
import. That's what differs Adobe XD from other UI UX tool is that you can import Photoshop uh, photos directly, just copy paste it, and then you can paste it on XD and also on Illustrator. If you created a vector on Illustrator, you can just Control C and then Control V on Adobe XD. It will import as vector as well, and so that you can adjust the colors on Adobe XD right away, and then the the points, the path on the vector.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Jared,
What do
what do
you
you
showcase
showcase?
for your portfolio for UX design? Um, it 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 depends where you want to be in UX, because some UX designer want to focus on research. So if you want to focus on research, you can what you can showcase on your portfolio are UX research, like um your user testing, case studies like that. But if you want to be a UX designer, you can showcase wireframes, how you do your wireframes, um, how you can also showcase how you create your user interface design, your color schemes like that. And if you want UX writing, you can showcase how you create um, content for example, the theme, the copywriting of um, an app for millennials like that. You can showcase it. It really depends where you want to be in UX. So I think that's how you want your portfolio to be.
Okay, and here in the Philippines, how did you get a job that lands you the
What's
UX
your UX
position or where you
position?
are right now?
Uh, yeah, very good question. So for for that, I graduated in 2015, and when I was in college, I was really into web designing. So that really lands me my first job as an interface designer already. So uh, I've been there since the start. That's why um, job after job, I only got the position UX designer. So if you want to transition uh, from you're in another career and you want to be a UX designer, I think what um, companies here in the Philippines are looking for is really the portfolio. Of course, you got to show that you know UX very well, because it's really it's not an easy uh, job being a UX, especially here in the Philippines. There's a lot of interfaces that needs to work on. So if you want to transition to UX, you have to build your portfolio. Just few designs I think is enough, like three or five, where you can 3 to 5, wherein you can just showcase your work, how you create UX pattern, how you create interface design for web or mobile.
Okay, so another question. I know
Mhm.
Adobe XD software tools now. How can I find
If
I'm a
I'm
UI designer or not?
which which quality makes me a UI designer. So if you're already creating designs on Adobe XD, I think that's already makes you a UI designer. Um the quality that can improve through practice. So you just have to, like I've said earlier, my inspirations are those big tech companies like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. They have the greatest UI UX designers, and you can from time to time, I visit the App Store or the Google Play Store, and then I just browse the best apps, like best downloaded apps, and I just draw inspiration from the those apps. So yeah, and then I adapt it. I use it as a peg for my design. Yeah, I think you're on mute.
Okay, so if you have questions pa, just post it in our comment section. Okay, and please inviting everyone to subscribe to for more tips and tricks. Inviting you to subscribe to Patricia Lazaro on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, and on Instagram, that's Patricia Lazaro. So follow Instagram, no follow. So follow in Instagram and subscribe in YouTube. Okay, once more, thank you, Miss Patricia, for making this workshop possible. Okay, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you again. Maybe we can conduct another live stream training, uh, of course, with respect to your time.
Mm. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also for the questions. You can message me if you have more questions. So,
Yeah, so Miss Patricia is in LinkedIn. That's Patricia Ann Lazaro. Connect with her, follow her on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks, Miss
thank
Patricia.
you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. Keep safe
Bye.
and healthy. Bye bye. Thanks, Miss
Bye. Thank
Pat.
you.
Hi there, I'm Tanner Morris, the Product Manager over the Adobe program at Certiport. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Adobe program, focusing on recent announcements. The Adobe Certified Associate Program is an industry-recognized way to validate proficiency with Adobe design software. Adobe certifications are for professionals and students to validate their design knowledge and skills. They are a clear indicator to current and potential employers or academic admission offices. We have exams that cover a number of key applications from Adobe Creative Cloud. In June 2021, the program will be renamed Adobe Certified Professional. The newer Live in the Application exams truly mirror a professional workflow, and we're excited about how this rebrand will help others to more readily recognize the skills that these exams validate. For those of you that are familiar with the current Specialist program, the current requirements will apply to CC 2015 now and going forward. Starting in August, the Live in the Application exams will qualify for this new specialty program that has the Adobe Certified Professional name. Candidates that earn the Photoshop certification, as well as either Illustrator or InDesign, will also earn the Adobe Certified Professional in Visual Design certificate. There are similar requirements for the video and web design certificates. Let's get into a little more of the details related to the Adobe exams. If you want to see the detailed objective domain documents that were used to create the exams, visit certiport.com/ODs. The new Live in the Application exams are just that, live in the application. You need to have the application installed locally to use the exams, but they work natively on both PC and Mac. The CC 2015 exams rely on simulated versions of the applications, so you do not need to have the application installed locally. Both the CC 15 and the newer Live in the Application exams have a mix of question types. Even the multiple choice questions don't just ask for knowledge. They present scenarios that apply to real-world circumstances where the candidate would be using the software in the job field. This is an example of a simulated question in the CC 2015 Photoshop exam. Candidates are given a prompt above the simulated version of the software. They follow the simulated pathways in the application to complete the task. Here's an example of a Live in the Application question. The question is presented in a panel within the application. We score the end result. Candidates can use any of the available pathways to complete the task. Okay, we've gone over the exams themselves. Let's now take a minute to talk about the learning resources available. Certiport has developed a full pathway, including the learning and practice elements that the candidates will want to complete so that they have the best chance possible to pass the certification exam. We have many different learning options available, and we're adding more all the time. Connect with your sales representative to see which solutions we would recommend in your specific case. For practice exams, Certiport works with Gmetrics, the official practice test software. The practice tests map to the same objective domains and accurately replicate the testing environments to build confidence. Adobe also has resources available to help teachers through the Adobe.Education exchange. We have a growing national and worldwide competition for Adobe, where candidates work on real-world assets to be used by real-world companies. Their projects are judged by a panel of experts and the client. Winners earn some awesome prizes. We have canceled the competitions in 2020 due to COVID-19, but we plan to hold them in 2021. Visit acachampionship.com to learn more about how to qualify and apply for competing in the national championships. If you want to hear more about how schools in the US and around the world have successfully implemented the Adobe certification program, reach out to your sales representative. Certiport's blog also features stories about how candidates and competitors have gone on to do some pretty awesome things. That's all I have for you now. Thank you so much for your time. If you have additional questions, your sales representative would be happy to discuss with you more.
Maybe you've heard about Adobe's Creative Cloud, but you're still not completely sure what it is. Simply put, it's a whole new way of working and creating, giving you everything you need to do your best work. When you join Creative Cloud, you get all the same state-of-the-art creative tools you've always used and loved. Tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere Pro, but they've been completely reinvented to support a more intuitive and connected way of creating. Plus, you have access to brand new tools like Adobe Muse and Edge tools and services for building beautiful modern websites. With one membership, you get every Adobe creative tool so you can constantly experiment and expand your skills. And the very latest features are always available to you when you're ready to download and install them. Creative Cloud lets you work from anywhere, on any device, wherever you are and with anyone you want. You can sync your files to the cloud to work on them later, access them from another device, or share your files and collaborate with the team. In fact, Creative Cloud was specifically designed to streamline the way creatives work together. You can set up private folders, choose your collaborators, manage versions, and capture all the activity related to your projects, all in one place. And with the integration of Behance, the world's leading creative community, you can showcase your work to millions, get feedback, and get exposure. From right within Photoshop CC, you can post your designs to your Works in Progress portfolio on Behance, and then get instant feedback from your trusted peers. You can also explore and discover the world's best work from leading creatives, peers, and people you know. Behance ProSite is also included with your membership. It's a fully customizable professional online portfolio on your own URL. With ProSite, keeping your portfolio up to date becomes easier than ever. You can also build and publish websites, mobile apps, and iPad applications. It's all included in your membership. Download the creative apps from the cloud to your desktop and use them the same way you always have, whether you're connected to the internet or not. You have a central dashboard to help you keep track of your entire creative universe. Your ideas, files, fonts, colors, settings, and updates and upgrades to your desktop apps, as well as your collaborators and community activity. And you have access to a growing library of tutorials and inspirational content. It's all available in real time wherever you happen to be. Creative Cloud evolves as you evolve and gives you everything you need to keep up, so you can experiment, innovate, and embrace whatever's next. Create now.